Hey friends, today's reading is all about what's next for your money, finances, and wealth. This is a timeless reading, so trust that you're seeing this at the exact right moment for you. If you are new to Pick a Card readings, here's how it works. The first thing that you're going to do is you are going to pick the pile or the crystal that you are the most intuitively drawn to. So we have pile 1 here with the Sodalite crystal. We have pile 2 here with the Smokey Quartz crystal. It's a Merkaba. We have pile 3 here with the Smokey Quartz heart. And then we have pile 4 here with the Trollite Merkaba. So you can choose one pile, you can choose more than one pile, or you can choose all of them. It is totally up to you. But when you're ready, go to the description of this video so you can find your timestamp that is linked to your pile, and then you can skip ahead to your reading. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I will see you on the inside. Hey pile 1, hey friends. So when I started recording for your reading, we are actually in the midst of a thunderstorm. So I don't know if thunder is something that's significant to you, and spiritually, thunder can symbolize things like power, divine presence, a sudden insight, transformation. I think it often represents like a wake-up call from the universe or the voice of the divine. It's something that urges awareness and change. So what's next for your money, your finances, your wealth? Let's first talk about your current financial energy, right? What's currently going on with your money. You can use this to confirm whether this pile is for you. Like if it sounds like your situation, this is your pile. If it doesn't, you might want to check out another pile. So pile 1, what is your current financial energy? So we have the 5 of Inspiration in reverse, and this is the 5 of Wands in reverse. This can represent things like inner conflict or avoiding competition or working behind the scenes. This is the card that often shows like a pullback from external competition, right? So maybe pile 1, maybe you feel like you are trying to avoid chaos or office politics or unnecessary drama. I'm wondering if some of you here could be craving a quieter, more cooperative work environment, or possibly maybe some of you here are like holding yourself back from the financial game because you feel burnt out, or there's feelings of like self-doubt, or maybe some of you here are like dealing with a fear of confrontation. So I wonder if some of you here, okay, so here's like one example. Maybe some of you here are freelancers or entrepreneurs who have been avoiding pitching to big clients because the competitive landscape feels too cutthroat, right? So maybe instead you're focused on nurturing your current client base. Or maybe some of you here are working quietly on a side project without telling anyone yet. I think the key insight here is that your current money energy, it feels more inward and more cautious, and maybe there's this inner tension or this feeling of like misalignment that's keeping you from taking bold action in some way. This could also talk about like missed opportunities from being too passive. Okay, so we also have Awakening in reverse. This one is Judgment reversed. So this represents things like self-doubt, fear of change, maybe resisting a calling. So I think it's interesting that we have similar themes. Pile 1, I wonder if some of you here have been hearing the inner call for transformation, right? Maybe you've been feeling that pull to like embark on a new career direction or a new financial decision or a new business idea, but maybe you're not fully trusting it yet. So I think that this points to like a fear of maybe even making the wrong move or being stuck in some sort of old financial pattern due to guilt or insecurity or lack of clarity. So for example, if some of you here have been thinking about switching from a stable but unfulfilling job to something more aligned, like a creative or a spiritual path, but maybe you haven't made the leap because you're afraid that it won't pay the bills, I think that you're being nudged to release perfectionism and fear of judgment, right? You're being encouraged to trust your deeper instincts about what's right for your financial future. So pile 1, what's next for your finances? Right? What change or opportunity or shift is coming? We have the Queen of Emotions. This is the Queen of Cups. So this represents things like emotional intelligence, nurturing abundance, intuitive flow. So I feel like this can talk about a more heart-centered, nurturing approach to money. I think that some of you here are going to be attracting income through emotional or healing work. or creativity or caregiving or passive income rooted in something that you truly love. I think that this could also mean that either like a woman or a feminine figure or even like a spirit guide will play a very significant role in your financial uplift and transformation. So for example, maybe some of you here launch a coaching practice or art business or a spiritual side hustle that begins to thrive because it resonates emotionally with people. Or a financially secure friend or a mentor offers you a job or opportunity to partner with them in some way that'll help you stabilize your income. So I feel like your next financial move will feel nourishing and emotionally aligned and not forced. So Pile 1, trust your intuition and your empathy, right? Because they're your secret money makers. Pile 1, I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but now it is like coming down hard with rain. It is raining. And so spiritually, rain symbolizes things like cleansing, renewal, emotional release, blessings, right? It can also represent a fresh start. It can represent divine nourishment and really washing away any old energy or pain. I love this. Spirit is like super duper coming through for your reading. Like the signs, the spiritual signs and all of that are just like very clear and big and I love it. Okay. We also have Garden of Wealth. So what's next for your money? This represents things like fertile ground, manifestation, tending to your abundance. So this is definitely a sign that something that you've planted is ready to blossom, Pile 1. I think that you will soon experience an increase in your income or your resources or opportunities, especially if you've been doing this like inner work, right? So this is the card that rewards patience and self-trust. It's really not a get rich quick thing, but it's like a solid long-term thing. A real life example here could be that you started a podcast or a blog or a YouTube channel, or you invested in some sort of real estate venture and now you're finally starting to see the payoff, right? So maybe what's going to happen, say you started a YouTube channel, right? Maybe your YouTube channel is going to be monetized finally and your Etsy shop is going to be gaining traction because you stayed consistent, right? I'm just throwing out random examples. I just think that some sort of long-standing effort or long-standing project or venture that you've been planting the seeds in over time is going to bloom. So keep showing up, because I think that money may come more easily now, and not necessarily because of the hustle, but because you've created some sort of fertile container for abundance. Let's talk about your long-term wealth. What direction is your overall financial trajectory going in? So we have magic. This one says power, beginnings, and transformation. It seems like a big theme, huh? Transformation here. This one says, I'm not underestimating my own magic anymore. Wow. I feel like many of you here knew, like whatever it is, whatever creative project, venture, or financial opportunity that you've wanted to go after for some time, I feel like you've always known this deep down in your heart that like you were meant for this. And maybe some of you here have had some trial and error. Like maybe you've tried to go full time on YouTube before and there was a lot of start and stops, or maybe things weren't consistent. But I really do feel like this is a sign of like, hey, whatever you've been working on or whatever you've been working at, it matters. It's going to bear fruit. And so it's time to start trusting in your abilities, not underestimating yourself anymore, not underestimating your own magic. We also have the number 8 here, which symbolizes abundance as well. I think that with this, there's a lot of alchemy and you stepping into your power. And there's a lot of manifesting potential here too. Pile 1, I feel like you're in a very powerful rebirth phase. And I think that your financial future holds very deep transformation. Pile 1, you're not meant to follow the beaten path. You're here to create your own unique version of wealth. So I feel like this is an invitation to work with the energetics of money, right? Manifestation, spiritual alignment, co-creation with the universe. So for example, maybe some of you here create a course or write a book or start offering some sort of intuitive reading or healing services, right? Something that combines your inner magic with your outward skills. And I think that as you own your voice and your value, your income is going to reflect that. I really do feel like you are meant to redefine what wealth means to you. And maybe this is going to be through unconventional or spiritual pathways. Your financial power is going to grow as you claim your inner magic and trust. We also have the 9 of Inspiration here, and this is the 9 of Wands. So this can represent things like resilience, protection, and really this like final push. So I definitely think that Your long-term financial outlook, it's very promising, pile 1. And I feel like it's taken a lot of effort on your part. This is the card that reminds you that you've come so far and to not give up. Right? So I feel like some of you here are feeling pretty tired, but you're definitely on the edge of some sort of major breakthrough. So it's time for you to protect your progress. Be strategic with your energy. If you've been building your brand or your business slowly, but you're facing many obstacles, maybe you feel tempted to quit. But this card is the card that reminds you to hold the line because your moment is close. Wealth is going to come to you through stamina and through belief, especially when it's hard. So this is your reminder to keep showing up for your future self. Let's dive into any guidance to increase wealth, right? Let's dive into actionable advice. We have protected by angels, and this one says you are cherished by the angels. So I feel like this symbolizes divine support for you, unseen protection, maybe even spiritual wealth. Pile 1, you're definitely not alone on this journey. Spiritual protection surrounds you on your financial path, and whether this is through actual people, right, like mentors or friends, or divine guidance or your spiritual team, I think the message here is that you are being gently held and directed towards your highest abundance. Pile 1, be on the lookout. You might get some unexpected help, like a bill being waived or a loan being approved, or maybe even like a stranger giving you a tip or a connection that changes everything. So this is your reminder to trust the signs and the synchronicities and the nudges. Call on your guides and your ancestors and your angels. Trust in divine timing, and really do allow your faith to guide your financial decisions, especially when you feel like logic is falling short as well. We also have the first quarter moon in Sagittarius. This one says believe in your good luck. So I feel like there's a lot of optimism and expansion and you taking a chance on something. This card is all about saying yes to what excites you. So it's time to dream bigger, pile 1. Sagittarius energy brings this wave of hope and adventure and risk taking. So I wonder if like financial growth will follow you when you follow what inspires you, even if that path isn't totally clear yet. So maybe some of you here decide to book a vendor booth at a local market, or launch that bold product, or apply for that dream job, even if you feel underqualified. I just think that this is the card that reminds you that your belief in yourself and your belief in your work is going to magnetize the opportunities that you're looking for. So ditch the doubt, bet on yourself, pile 1, really truly believe that luck is on your side. And I do feel like your next financial win is going to come from you stepping outside of your comfort zone. Okay, so let's roll some astro dice. What's next for pile 1's money, finances, and wealth? Okay, so we have the sun in Taurus in the 10th house. Ooh, okay, so with the sun in Taurus in the 10th house, pile 1, I feel like what's next for your finances and wealth is steady growth through practical efforts and persistence and building long-term value. Right, so I feel like some of you here could gain recognition or success through grounded, reliable work, especially in the areas of finance or art, creativity, beauty, real estate, right? Anything that creates tangible results. I think that stability and material rewards are on the horizon for you as long as you stay focused and consistent and you keep showing up for yourself and your future self. So yes, thank you so much, pile 1. I hope that this reading was really fun for you. I hope it resonates. Please give this video a like if it did. Comment below with what came up for you, what insights came through. You know I love to chat with you all in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much. If you feel called to check out my channel, Tidal Tarot, I've got a bunch of other pick a card readings for you to explore from a bunch of different topics, and I have them all organized in playlists. But if not this time, I will see you back on the next video. Bye, Tidal fam. Love y'all. Have a great day. Hey, pile 2. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading all about what's next for your money, finances, and wealth. Let's talk about your current financial energy. What's the current energy around your money? And we can also use this as a confirmation to figure out whether this is your pile or not. If what I'm about to say sounds like you in your situation, then this is your pile. But if it doesn't sound like you might want to check out another pile. So we have the 10 of voices. This is the 10 of swords. So the 10s in the tarot can talk about things like completion, or it can represent like outcome. So I wonder if some of you have gone through some sort of painful ending, or maybe some of you here feel like you've hit rock bottom in some way. And this can also represent feelings of betrayal as well. So financially, I wonder if some of you have been in a situation where you feel like you've hit a wall, right? Like a career path that's no longer viable, or maybe like a deal that fell through, or a betrayal in business, right? Maybe somebody is not holding up their end of the bargain. I feel like the Ten of Swords is like the moment after the storm, right? When things feel bleak, but like the only way is up from here. So I don't know if some of you here have been through some really painful experiences, like being laid off from a job that you poured yourself into. Or another example could be like you're a freelancer who lost your top paying client overnight, right? Like those are just a couple examples, but either way, no matter what you've been through, I feel like it's the energy of like something stinging, but it's also this turning point, right? The Ten of Swords says it's over, but a new dawn is here. We also have the Knight of Emotions. This one is the Knight of Cups in reverse. So emotionally, this can talk about disillusionment or being led by fantasy over facts. So I wonder if like financially, some of you here maybe have chased an opportunity that promised more than it delivered. Maybe this is like a passion project that like didn't pay off right away, or maybe some of you here have felt like you've been procrastinating or romanticizing an outcome without putting in the grounded effort. So for example, maybe some of you here have invested time or money into a creative business, like writing a book or launching a product, but maybe you didn't have like a solid marketing plan or a solid financial plan, right? And so now it feels emotionally draining and you're not sure how to realign. So I think that with the Ten of Swords and the Knight of Cups in reverse, pile 2, I feel like you're closing a chapter of disappointment in your finances, right? Or illusion, or some sort of emotional investment that didn't yield you the results that you were looking for. I feel like some of you here are going through like grief, or maybe you're tired or you feel fatigue, but there's also this sense of liberation too, right? Because endings can create space for something better. So what's next for your finances, pile 2? What change, opportunity, or shift is coming for you? We have the Sun, and with the Sun, this is such an incredible card. It represents things like joy, clarity, and success. And financially, I feel like you're stepping into a period where things feel brighter, right? Opportunities become visible, support returns to you, and I feel like your confidence is going to rise. So pile 2, expect recognition and possibly abundance through your natural talents. So for example, let's say you pivot into something that feels aligned, like public speaking or content creation or teaching something that you love, and you have a video or a piece of content that goes viral and your name starts circulating in like professional circles. I just feel like there's definitely this like visibility and warmth around your money. We also have the Rogue. This card represents you breaking from tradition or taking some sort of like non-conventional route. Pile 2, you're going to prosper by doing things your way, not by following the rules. I think that risk-taking might be involved, but so is authenticity. So for example here, maybe you're somebody who wants to leave your 9-to-5 corporate job to start some sort of handmade jewelry business on Etsy, right? Something you've always loved, but you've maybe never dared to monetize. And so you hustle and you innovate and you grow this like really cool like following. And I feel like that's like the Sun and the Rogue here, right? So pile 2, you are on the brink of some sort of financial breakthrough, especially if you embrace your true path. And even if it looks wild or unusual to others, I think that it's time to let your joy and your inner rebel lead you in some way. So let's dive into your long-term wealth, right? What direction is your overall financial trajectory going in? We have potential and possibility. This one says future, highest self, and quantum. And it says reach out to the potential that is calling for you. Ooh, okay. So this signals massive spiritual alignment, pile 2, and forward motion. This is not just about wealth, but it's about conscious wealth. Money that flows to you from purpose, expansion, and really this connection to something bigger than the now. So pile 2, I feel like you're heading toward a version of wealth that mirrors your soul growth. So for example, maybe some of you here are healers who start charging for energy work after years of offering it for free. Or maybe some of you here are coaches creating digital offerings that really do help you to make passive income while you live in alignment with your higher self. We also have the High Priestess in reverse here, and so I wonder if some of you feel like your intuition feels blocked, or there's secrets or some sort of like over reliance on logic. I feel like pile 2, maybe some of you here are second guessing your instincts around money, or you're ignoring your deeper inner knowing. So for example, maybe you're someone who knows that you need to leave your draining job, but maybe you're staying because it feels safe, right? Or it's practical, even while your soul screams for more. Or maybe you're someone who's ignoring your creative gifts because you don't see it as profitable, but your breakthrough depends on you embracing that, right? So I think long-term, pile 2, your wealth is quantum, right? It's limitless. It's tied to your soul's expansion, but you must clear the fog and trust your inner compass. Pile 2, stop outsourcing your financial decisions to fear or societal norms. Let's talk about guidance to increase your wealth. What are some actionable advice steps for you to take? We have vast vistas. This one says expand your horizons. Pile 2, again, you're being called to think bigger. The path to wealth won't be found by you repeating old moves. So maybe some of you here are going to learn a new skill or collaborate with people outside of your usual network. Maybe some of you here are going to be moving into a new market or a new location. So for example, maybe you've always done one-on-one client work, but maybe some of you here are going to start pivoting to group programs, right? Or teaching on a bigger scale. Or maybe you've always targeted, people in your city for your work, but maybe if you expanded online, it would, reach the right people, right? Or you would find your soul family that way. I just think this is the card for you to think bigger than what you know, right? Or what you're looking at right now. So we also have full moon in Pisces. This one says forgive. Wow. I feel a lot of you here have some like resentment to let go of, especially towards either like maybe it's others for past financial decisions, or maybe even yourself. But I feel like there's some sort of emotional baggage here that's kind of like mucking up the water or muddying the water. And I feel like once you address this and work through any sort of emotional baggage that you're carrying, it's going to open up the doors for more abundance to flow in for you with more ease, is what I'm feeling. So Pisces as a sign is very spiritual. And so this is about energetic clearing to invite in divine flow, right? So for example here, maybe some of you here need to forgive yourself for not saving enough, or maybe you need to forgive a business partner who ghosted you. This is time for you to release the pain and not to excuse it, but to free your money energy, right? Maybe this is journaling or doing some sort of ritual or some sort of like water-based activity, right? Like a bath or taking a swim in the ocean, something to do with cleansing your energy. Sometimes I even like to just go in and just take a quick shower, right? Like that's one way to cleanse and release energy. It can be very simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. But I think that this is the card that reminds you that it's time to let go of some sort of emotional weight and start dreaming bigger. Your future wealth wants space and openness, pile 2, not judgment or limitation. So think bigger, forgive deeper, and act in alignment with possibility. Let's roll some astro dice to get more information for you. What is next for your money, finances, and wealth, pile 2? Okay. We have Mars in Scorpio in the 9th house. So pile 2, with Mars and Scorpio in the 9th house here, I feel like your finances and your wealth are energized by intense focus and you taking strategic action and really exploring in a bold way, right? So I think that you can expect growth through higher education or travel or deep research or even investments in some way. Pile 2, maybe you're going to attract wealth by taking calculated risks and pursuing transformational knowledge or like global ventures. Again, I'm feeling this like strong online presence for you too. Trust your instincts, pile 2. They're really sharp right now. Okay. So thank you so much, pile 2. I hope that this reading was fun for you. Please give this video a like if it resonates. Comment below with what came up for you, with what insights you notice. I love to chat with you all in the comments. You know that you guys are my spiritual besties. I'm so grateful for you all in this community. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would love to have you here. Thank you. And if you feel called to check out my channel, Tidal Tarot, I've got a bunch of other pick a card readings for you to explore from a bunch of different topics, and I have them all organized for you in playlists, so it's really easy to access. So if not this time, I'll see you on the next reading. Bye friends, bye Tidal Tribe, love y'all. Hey Pile 3, hey friends, welcome to your reading all about what's next for your money, finances, and wealth. So let's first talk about your current financial energy. Let's find out what's the current energy around your money at the moment. And you can also use this as a confirmation to figure out if this is your pile or not. So if what I'm about to say describes you and your situation, then this is your pile. But if it doesn't sound like you might want to check out another pile. Okay, so the first card that we have here is the Four of Materials in reverse. This is the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So this represents letting go. It can talk about releasing control, shifting away from scarcity mindset. So I wonder if some of you here are experiencing a shift from clinging too tightly to money to a more like open, fluid relationship with it. So for example, maybe some of you here used to meticulously budget every cent, right? Maybe some of you even used to hoard money out of fear of losing it. And now you might be loosening the reins a bit. Right? So perhaps you're spending on quality of life improvements or investing in growth, right? Like hiring help or signing up for a course, or maybe even improving your workspace and making it nicer. This card, do you hear that, Pile 3? I'm recording this reading during a thunderstorm here on the island. So spiritually, thunder symbolizes things like power, transformation, a wake-up call, right? So I feel like many of you here in this reading are going to go through some major transformation, just divine transformation in the best way. So just want to point that out. But back to the Four of Pentacles in reverse here, I feel like some of you might fear like losing financial control, like especially if you're currently spending more than you're saving, or maybe some of you have recently left a job or you're looking to leave a job. Maybe some of you here feel like you invested in something risky or you made a large purchase, or maybe some of you are thinking about doing these things. We also have the Nine of Materials in reverse. This is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So this can talk about feeling like you have a lack of independence, or like maybe financial security feels unstable, or it can also be the feeling of like feeling almost there but not quite. So I wonder if some of you here feel either like financially dependent on others or not yet fully able to enjoy the fruits of your own labor. Maybe some of you here have achieved some success, but you still feel like it's not yours yet. Or maybe some of you here are feeling like you're faking it till you make it, right? Like maybe you do have wealth and success, but you're feeling like there's a bit of imposter syndrome going on. Or maybe you're doing really well externally, but there's feelings of insecurity internally. So for example, maybe you have a high-paying job, but you still live paycheck to paycheck. Or maybe some of you here are running a successful business, but you feel trapped by mounting expenses or burnout, right? So I feel like together with these two reversals, it can show an invitation to rework your foundation in some way, right? So moving from control and fear into trust and stability and confidence in your own earning power. So what's next for your finances, Pile 3? What change, opportunity, or shift is coming for you? We have the Magician in reverse here. And so this can talk about untapped potential, misalignment, even scattered energy, or like manipulation in some way. So I do feel like you're being asked to regain your personal power when it comes to money. Maybe there's a feeling that you have everything you need to succeed, but you aren't pulling it all together effectively, right? So maybe you want to watch for distractions or like spreading yourself too thin. Right, so for example, Pile 3, I feel like you have skills, right? Like for example, maybe some of you here are real estate savvy, or you have some sort of content creation talent, or you have some sort of financial intuition, but maybe you're not packaging these skills in a way that generates income, right? Or you're trying to do everything yourself and you feel a bit stuck. This can also talk about procrastination or lack of confidence. So maybe you're sitting on an idea or an opportunity or an offer that could change everything, but this fear is holding you back. So we also have the Seer, and with this card, I feel like it's encouraging you to trust your intuition over logic when it comes to your next move. So maybe there's some sort of opportunity or insight that looks too spiritual or looks too risky, but it feels deeply aligned. So maybe some of you here feel called to launch a passion project or write a book or start an intuitive business or make some sort of unconventional investment like crypto or sorry, also use your discernment. Crypto comes to mind, but then my logic also tells me like I just checked it and the crypto's down like big time right now. But hey, I am not like an investment coach, so please use your own discernment. Remember, these readings are for entertainment purposes only, so please use your own discernment and your own judgment when you're making financial decisions, because that's huge. But right, like maybe you want to do something unconventional, spiritual coaching, art, content creation, something like that, right? Even if it doesn't make sense, like logical sense to other people, I just feel like your external power needs to be reconnected to that internal compass within you. So it's not about doing more, but it's about aligning with what's already inside of you, pile 3. Let's talk about your long-term wealth. What direction is your overall financial trajectory going in? We have the moon. This one says duality, hidden gem, and secret power. What if your strangeness is actually your brilliance? I love that. Okay, so I feel like it's like there's some sort of like natural talent or skill that you have that maybe you've like discounted, right? Or maybe you felt like, I don't know how I would like monetize this, or this is just a part of me. It's a natural thing that comes to me, but I don't know if I can share it with other people, right? Like I'm thinking about like some of you might have like psychic abilities, intuitive abilities, spiritual abilities, and maybe it's something that you've hidden. Like I remember as a child, I would like get these intuitive insights. I would consider myself to be pretty clear cognizant, right? Clear knowing. Like I would just get these insights and just have this like deep knowing of things like, ooh, this is happening, or like this is gonna like I wouldn't say it's been once in a while, it's somewhat prophetic, but more than anything it's just I'd get like these, it felt random, and I'd be like, what is this, you know, and it would like scare me a little bit, or I'd be like, people are gonna think I'm nuts if I tell them what I just intuited, because I have no logical reasoning to back it up with, right? So if that sounds like you, if you have been hiding some sort of ability due to fear or due to like fear of judgment, or maybe you have shared this side of you before and people have either not understood it, judged you for it, or kind of poo-pooed it, right? I just want to let you know that like I see you, I feel you, I hear you, and that you're not alone in this struggle. There's a lot of seers, intuitive people, spiritualists, psychics that have been through that very same thing. And so I think that this is you honoring your uniqueness, honoring your strangeness, honoring the things that make you different from other people, because that's actually your superpower. That's your brilliance. I think that this card can also talk about uncertainty, mystery, intuitive wealth, and again, secret talents, right? So I feel like your long-term wealth journey is going to be something that's non-linear, again, possibly unconventional. Pile 3, you do have hidden gifts within you that haven't fully been revealed or monetized yet. So for example, again, like maybe you're a psychic or a powerful storyteller or a highly creative thinker whose ideas don't fit into mainstream molds. Over time, I feel like those weird skills could become your greatest financial assets, right? I feel like this card can also caution us against illusions though, so make sure you're not chasing wealth based on someone else's definition of success, right? So there could be some sort of hidden gem like a small niche business or an overlooked idea that really leads you to your abundance. We also have the 7 of Voices. This is the 7 of Swords. This can represent strategy, independence, working behind the scenes. I think in the long term, you're being asked to play chess, not checkers, right? So your financial future involves you making calculated moves, you taking ownership of your personal agency, and perhaps even like solo projects or secret hustles. So, for example, maybe some of you here are going to build some sort of side business while working your 9 to 5, right? Like maybe you're going to write a book under a pseudonym, or you're going to create a YouTube channel under an alias, right? Or you're going to invest quietly in some sort of property while staying low key. It's also a reminder to stay ethical, right? Don't cut corners, don't manipulate. I don't think that this pile would do that at all. I don't think this community, our Tidal tribe, we're not like that. But I think it's just also maybe a sign to like pay attention to other people who might try to manipulate you, or, you know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. But yeah, I feel like you have a future where you make money not just by following the crowd, but by following your gut and your mystery and your mastery. I wonder if some of you have like significant Scorpio placements in your birth chart. If you do, let me know. And if you don't know much about your birth chart, or you want to know and learn the easy way, how to understand your signs in your chart in the easy, simple way, I have a bunch of different podcast episodes that I have recorded. So check out the link in the description. That's Deep Podcast. I have a personal development and spirituality podcast that'll teach you how to use self-discovery tools to leverage your success in your career, in your relationships, in your life, and so much more. So yes. Okay, so let's talk about any sort of guidance to increase your wealth. We have grace and gratitude. This one says, through gratitude, joy expands. So I feel like wealth is going to grow when you shift your energy from not enough to thank you for this, right? So practicing gratitude, and especially for what's working, this is something that's going to magnetize more abundance. So for example, maybe you keep a gratitude journal specifically for money, right? Even if it's $5, writing, I'm grateful for this small win, it can really open you up to energetic doors. So for example, try saying like, thank you so much for this $100 sale, I'm ready for more, right? Or thank you so much for this $2 million sale, I'm ready for more. I think that this energy shift is also going to help you soothe the tension from the Four of Pentacles reversed, moving from control to joy, right? We also have full moon in Cancer. This one says, let your fears dissolve. Pile 3, this is really deep. I feel like the biggest thing blocking your wealth could be emotional fears from the past, right? So maybe you were told that money is hard to earn, or you fear being seen as too much if you become wealthy. Full moon energy is all about release, and Cancer is about home, security, and emotion. So I feel like this could look like you releasing fear of instability, letting go of emotional baggage tied to money, like guilt or shame. Some of you here might even be healing a mother wound or some sort of generational pattern about lack. Maybe some of you here want to do like a ritual to release fears of failure or scarcity, or, you know, maybe some of you want to have a heart-to-heart with yourself about what you're afraid might happen if you become wealthy. Because I feel like there could be a couple of you in this pile who are maybe even scared of your own greatness. And I know that sounds really interesting, but like, it's a real thing, right? Okay, so the next thing I want to do here is I would love to roll some astro dice to get more information on what is next for pile 3's money and finances and wealth. Okay, so we have the sun in Pisces in the first house. So with the sun in Pisces in the first house, pile 3, I feel like your finances and your wealth are influenced by intuition and creativity and self-expression like we talked about. So what's next for you? I think that opportunities could come up through artistic or spiritual pursuits. I think that your presence and your personal brand are things that are going to attract income. Again, trust your instincts. Your inner guidance is very, very strong now, pile 3. And this could also be a sign for you to avoid escapism, right? So stay grounded in your money decisions. I think that your light attracts abundance when you stay aligned with your authentic self, pile 3. So yes, thank you so much, pile 3. I hope that this reading was fun. If it resonates with you, please give it a like. Comment below with any insights that came up for you. I love to chat with you all in the comments. If you haven't subscribed already, I would love to have you here. And if you feel called, check out my channel, Tidal Tarot. I've got a bunch of other pick a card readings for you to explore, and I have them all organized by topics in playlists on my channel. So definitely check that out if you feel called. And yes, I appreciate you all so much. I'm so grateful for every single one of you in this community. I just, words can't even describe how much love and gratitude I have for each and every one of you. So I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day, and I will see you next time. Bye, Tidal Tribe. Love y'all. Hey, pile 4. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading all about what's next for your money, your finances, and your wealth. So let's talk about your current financial energy. Let's talk about the current energy around your money, and you can also use this as a confirmation to make sure that this is your pile. If what I'm about to say sounds like you, then this is your pile, but if it doesn't sound like you might want to choose a different pile. So the first card that we have here is the Knight of Materials, and this is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So this energy can speak to feeling like financial stagnation or burnout. I don't know if some of you here have been feeling like you've either been procrastinating on important things or maybe getting caught in a loop of busy work with no real payoff. So for example, maybe some of you here are working long hours at a job or a side hustle that doesn't feel fulfilling or financially rewarding. For example, like pouring time into admin work or client management or even content creation, but maybe not yet seeing the money reflect the effort that you've been putting in. Maybe you've been sitting on an idea or on some sort of investment opportunity, right? So like starting a Shopify shop or an Etsy shop or launching a real estate page or offering a workshop. But I feel like consistency is popping up here, right? Like taking the consistent steps to make it real. And I feel like for some of you here, you're like, no way, like I have been consistent with this, right? And I would say like, it's not about like I definitely think that, right? Like some of you have been pouring into something for like years, right? More than that. But I keep hearing like daily consistency with something. I don't know what that means. It might resonate with some of you, it might not. We also have the Ace of Emotions here in reverse. This is the Ace of Cups in reverse. So I don't know if some of you here have been feeling like emotional dissatisfaction connected to your money situation. Maybe some of you here feel like your heart isn't really in something or that you're financially giving to others, emotionally and literally, but not being refilled. So for example, maybe some of you here have been saying yes to helping friends or family or coworkers, right? Like maybe some of you here have been babysitting or doing some unpaid emotional labor or doing extra hours without recognition, right? And this is leaving you feeling emotionally and financially depleted. Or maybe your current income source just doesn't light you up anymore, right? Like maybe you feel creatively blocked or spiritually dry. Pile 4, I wonder if you're doing something with your money or your career, but it feels disconnected from your passion, or maybe you feel like it's not producing sustainable results and you're ready for a shift, right? You're ready for a change. So let's dive into what's next for your finances, right? What change or opportunity or shift is coming for you? So we have the Queen of Voices here, and this is the Queen of Swords. So I feel like this is you cutting through the noise, pile 4, right? This is you being sharp and clear and strategic and really ready to make objective decisions about what serves you and what doesn't. So for example, here, pile 4, maybe some of you here feel like you're finally ready to set some financial boundaries, right? Like maybe you want to raise your prices, raise your rates. Maybe you want to say no to free labor, or maybe you want to cancel that auto-renewing subscription, right? There's so many different things here. Maybe for some of you here, you start streamlining your systems and creating spreadsheets, or even hiring a bookkeeper to help you see the facts clearly. This is about you getting that mental clarity and not having like that wishful thinking, right? We also have the Artisan here. And so this is all about you stepping into your creative mastery, using your skills, using your craft, right? Using your ideas to build something tangible and sustainable. Maybe some of you here want to monetize some sort of craft or creative gift. Some of you here might want to start, this is just an example. If you don't hear what it is that you want to create here, like just know that this list is not exhaustive. Please follow your heart, but I just like to throw out examples for fun. So maybe some of you here want to start a jewelry line or a photography side business or interior styling consultations, or maybe you want to dive into content creation around your niche, right? Tarot, astrology, spiritual coaching, day in the life, lifestyle content, right? Travel. You have this raw talent, and so by using objectiveness and, clear thinking and being very intentional, it can help you package it smartly. So I really do feel like a big shift is coming your way, pile 4, as you start making clear, empowered choices, right? And as you monetize your creativity or your skill. I think this is all about you aligning your logic with your artistry, right? Balancing that objective side with your intuition, with that creativity. Let's talk about your long-term wealth. What direction is your overall financial trajectory going in? We have the past. This one says releasing, rebirth, and spring. And it says, and so I listened as my soul told me to let the past go so that I may awaken to how much I have grown. Ooh, okay. It's all about you releasing past cycles. I feel like this is like a death and rebirth cycle, right? Not literal death, but like maybe the death of an old version of yourself, or releasing a path or a career that you had to chase after or that you had to be in based on other people's expectations of yourself, right? And now you're ready to go rogue. This is you releasing any old financial patterns or any sort of outdated narratives around scarcity or overgiving or undercharging. So I wonder if some of you here come from a background where money was scarce or unstable, or maybe your family struggled financially, or you were taught to hustle hard but never to rest. And now you're slowly reprogramming your relationship with money to be healthier, right? To be more trusting, to be more abundant. We also have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse here. So this can talk about impatience or disappointment in your financial returns. I think this is the card that asks you to look at where you've been investing your energy, right? Your time, your money, your resources, right? And whether it's truly paying off or if it's time to pivot. So maybe some of you here have spent months marketing a service that just isn't converting, right? Or you've been giving energy to a job that doesn't promote you. Or maybe some of you here are asking, is it even worth it? This is the card that invites some sort of course correction, right? Choosing to sow seeds in better soil, even if it means letting go of past effort. I think long-term, your wealth journey is shifting through things like release and rebirth. You're moving away from putting an effort into something that doesn't feel so fruitful, and you're moving into more aligned, smarter, clearer investments, emotionally, energetically, financially. Now, let's dive into any sort of guidance to increase your wealth, any sort of actionable advice. So we have transformation, and this one says a fresh new way of living emerges. So pile 4, you are absolutely ready to evolve. This is an invitation for you to shed the skin of your old money identity, right? No more playing small, no more undercharging, no more waiting to feel ready. So this could mean finally launching that offering that you've been too shy to put out there, right? Maybe this is a high ticket program or an exclusive service or affiliate marketing, right? It could be so many different things here, but it's just time to own your worth, pile 4, and to step out, even if it feels different or outside of your comfort zone, right? We also have first quarter moon in Capricorn. This one says unleash your kindest self. So this is the balance card, right? So it's like take bold steps, but don't lose your compassion. I think that financial growth doesn't have to come through harshness and hustle. You can actually align your values with your money goals. So if you are creating some sort of new offering or raising your prices, then communicate that with love and transparency, right? Or maybe you set a new budget with your family while also being kind to your inner child who used to impulse spend for emotional comfort, right? So financial evolution doesn't require you to become cold. It just requires alignment. So I do think that your wealth is going to come from your evolution with compassion. The key is to act boldly with your heart, but knowing that you're still allowed to grow and still be kind and gentle, because I feel like a lot of you here, you do have that gentle, like artisan creative nature as well. And it's not, just about the hustle and pushing, right? Let's roll some astro dice, find out more information on what's next for pile 4's money, finances, and wealth. Okay, so we have Neptune in Aquarius in the 11th house. I love that we have Aquarius in the 11th house because that's the house that rules Aquarius. So with Neptune in Aquarius in the 11th house here, pile 4, I feel like what's next for your finances could involve unexpected support from social networks or creative collaborations or some sort of like visionary group project. So definitely stay open to income streams that feel a little non-traditional and intuitive financial decisions, but also watch out for idealism or confusion around shared resources or friends, right? Keep your boundaries very clear. The Queen of Swords is excellent at that. So yes. Thank you so much, pile 4. I hope that this reading was fun for you. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a big thumbs up. Comment below with what pile you chose or what came up for you. I absolutely love to hear your insights and the things that you've noticed. If you're not subscribed yet, I would love to have you here. And if you feel called to check out my channel, Tidal Tarot, I've got a bunch of other pick a card readings for you to explore from a bunch of different topics, and I have them all organized in playlists, so it's easy to access. So thank you so much, friends. I really, really appreciate you. Sending you so much love. I'm always in so much awe and gratitude for this community and this safe space where we can be ourselves. So thank you so much. Take care of yourself. See you next time. Bye, friends. Love y'all.